guys, transferred rooms, and I had to say goodbye this morning to my friend Rain. She had to go back and work. I had to say our parting ways, say goodbye. It was a great time hanging with her. And then I transferred rooms already this morning, so on the front side of the same hotel. Funny enough, just down there, 2 doors, is where I stayed last time I was here with my ex. So, and actually went out last night to a little gathering with our friends here and people that I'd hung out with my ex, and they know her, and had a good talk with a mutual friend, the girl that's a blogger here. Really lots of friends on Facebook. Anyways, made friends with her and her partner. He's Australian, she's Filipino, and yeah, she just kind of shared some light to me as far as some things that have been being said, and she was able to validate a lot of things that I had already felt and I believe. But one thing I told her is I'm going to take the high road, and I'm not going to bash my ex no matter what she says about me, whatever story she makes up, whatever she has to do to make herself believe that I'm not who I say I am, or who I really am by my actions. We all make mistakes once in a while, but I don't think I made anything so drastic that it wasn't like it was character or, just anyways, just drama, like just things that were being said. And I just told her, I said, I think sometimes in life, especially people with an avoidant personality, they have to make the other person look like the bad guy in order for them to move on, in order for them to move forward. Otherwise, it's cognitive dissonance, because the story they're telling, if they don't make that person, especially if that person had so much impact, and I definitely did, they almost take the good things, all the good things I did, and turn them around as far as like negativity. And I'm not gonna make this a drama blog, other than just saying that people are going to say wrong things about you. You're gonna have good intentions, you're gonna do right things, and people are still gonna take it and use it against you. So like, it's gonna feel like, well, what's the point? I'm gonna lose anyways. It's like, well, keep your character. Remember, the truth does come out. You don't have to defend yourself. Even your haters, your critics give you more power. That's something I wanna encourage you guys with. You saw the shots from yesterday coming in here, this beautiful, you can be in the beautiful paradise place and then have all this mix up in your mind. So it's so important to control your mind. But yeah, I would just say this is, just take the high road, guys. And I'm not saying deny yourself, okay? That's the biggest thing, is not doing that. You don't want to abandon yourself. However, it's okay to set a boundary with people, but sometimes there's no sense in defending, because let God defend you. Don't try to control it. Other people, as my dad used to say, the cream will always rise to the top. They're gonna be able to tell by the other people's actions who's right, who's wrong. And in this situation, a mutual friend just said, I don't really think you're the problem. It's like, yeah, I don't think so either, but I'm trying to own it. For the last month and a half, I've been really working on the things that, if she was ever to come back around, what are the things that I could do better? What are some improvements I could have made? And she goes, yeah, like I can see you being that type of person. And anyway, so it was validating to hear, her as a mutual party saying, normally like with Filipinos and girls, we usually take the girl side, but in this case, honestly, I've seen the way you are multiple times, and I just saw the way you treated her, and I saw how she responded to you, and I don't think it's you. I'm like, yeah, it is what it is, but I'm not gonna bash her, and I'm gonna take the high road here. But not really even taking the high road, it's just being a man of character, still caring. I still have love and care for her, but at the same time, I have love and care for myself. And so I don't need to chase whatever story she's telling people to make herself believe it so she feels better. I mean, I do feel like I was a pretty big influence, like I said. And so the bigger the influence, the more they have to push you down so that it makes more sense for them to walk away. And so it sounds like there's been a lot of bashing me and making up drama, or just making it a little bit more intense. And like, again, it hurts. It really hurts, because when you give so much to somebody and you feel like it was a catch-22, be like, well, if I don't give this, then am I really supporting her properly because she needs it? Is she gonna end up on the street not having a job? But now it's being used against me because I supported her. Like, it's just like, it's if you guys have ever dated an avoidant, fearful avoidant, dismissive avoidant, any of those guys, it's quite the mind screw. Where some of the things you think you're doing that are good and healthy actually work against you, and it takes away their autonomy and their independence. And I think I've talked about that earlier, but it's so hurtful after the fact to know you gave so much, even too much, and now it's being used against you, and like you're still damned if you do, damned if you don't. And at some point you just can't let them be your judge and jury. You just gotta let it play out. But the biggest thing is don't abandon yourself in the sense of let yourself feel those feelings. Don't stuff them so you get bitter. Don't also like always do it where you're almost defending them so that you're not allowing yourself to process it and heal it. So we can do two things. We can get bitter and angry and mad and hateful and resentful, and that's awful. Don't do that. You know, bitterness is like drinking poison, expecting the other person to die. But then there's the other part of us where we almost give them too much credit, or we abandon ourselves by not healing, and we just continue to like, oh, they meant this, we defend this, oh, I understand they're like this. And I'm in dangers of this sometimes because I understand her patterns now better. And so I'm like, well, she did this, but I almost like I pacify it because I'm like, well, she's just dealing with that because she had a wounded childhood, or she was dealing with some trauma, or this is just her personality type. And guys, you can call it what it is, but still allow yourself to grieve the fact, the fantasy, the whatever, the loss that you have, and do that for you, because your body still knows. You don't want to just hold in those emotions by giving them too much credit. And that's something for me, I have to be careful of not giving her too much credit, because when you separate the facts from the feelings, there's a long list of unfortunate, we did not measure up. We were not in the same world and realm of giving or receiving or being able to or capability of. And this isn't to bash. It's just, I want to encourage you, if you guys have been in that place, don't get bitter, get better, heal, but don't also give them so much credit that you deny yourself. So I hope that helps for the self-abandonment issues. Anyways, we're gonna continue to explore here. Now that I'm back solo again here in Siargao, we're gonna do a little bit more exploring. So I hope you guys enjoy the journey. All right, here's some more shots here in the future days.